So we get this graph, and then if we plot a graph of pressure against 1 by volume, pressure against 1 by volume, then we get this graph, because this relationship tells us that pressure is inversely proportional to volume and it is directly proportional to 1 by volume, right? The same thing. So I think the second graph is a lot easier compared to the first one. So now I've told you all the graphs. These graphs help with the MCQ questions, because these MCQ questions can be really tricky and they can ask about the graphs. So now you'll know how to answer them. So I've drawn all these relationships now, so let's move forward. Now, in an ideal gas, let's talk about the properties of ideal gases. So in an ideal gas, there are no intermolecular forces, which means that there are no forces of attraction between the molecules, right? Actually, this is not possible in real life, because obviously, molecules have electrons and they have nuclei. So there will be forces of attraction and repulsion, and that's why we get van der Waals forces, right? So this is not possible in reality, but this is a completely theoretical concept that there are no intermolecular forces. And then in an ideal gas, the volume of particles is negligible compared to the volume of the gas. Now, what we mean by this is that the size of the particle is really small compared to the distance between the particles, and that's why the volume of individual particles is negligible compared to the volume of the entire gas. So that's what we mean by this. Now, in reality, again, this is not possible, because in real gases, the molecules or particles, whatever they are, they have a significant volume. They have significant individual volume. So we cannot neglect that volume in real gases. So this is again this is an ideal gas concept. And then all collisions of ideal gas particles are elastic. Now, elastic collisions you don't need to know, because this is physics. So if you are studying physics, you would know what elastic collisions are. But if you're not studying physics, don't worry, just write this down and you'll get the marks. Then ideal gas molecules move rapidly and randomly. So that's this kind of the same thing with real gas molecules. Now, how does a real gas approach ideal behavior, right? So we said that a real gas can never show cannot behave exactly like an ideal gas, but it can come very close to behaving like an ideal gas. So we can do two things to make this happen. So the first thing is that as temperature of a gas increases, it approaches ideal behavior. Now, this is because when you increase the temperature, you are breaking the intermolecular forces. So the intermolecular forces are becoming slightly negligible because you're breaking them by increasing the temperature. And that's why as you increase the temperature of a gas, it approaches ideal behavior. It does not become ideal, but it approaches that level. Then if you decrease the pressure of a gas, it approaches ideal behavior. Now, this is because when you increase pressure, the particles come close together, right? Because you are increasing the pressure on them. But when you're decreasing pressure, on the other hand, the particles are moving further away from each other. And when they are moving further away from each other, the distance between the particles is increasing, and hence their individual volumes can be neglected, right? So the distance between the particles is increasing, and hence their individual volumes can be neglected. And that's why it is approaching ideal behavior. So these are the two factors that help a gas approach ideal behavior. If you apply the opposite of these two factors, like decreasing the temperature and increasing the pressure, then it will deviate away from ideal behavior, right? So these are the factors that affect ideal behavior. Now, noble gases, they are the closest to ideal gases. Let's see why. Because if you see, noble gases are monoatomic atoms, right? They are monoatomic particles because they have a single atom. They do not bond to form diatomic or triatomic molecules, right? Because they do not need to bond. They already have a complete outer shell. So they do not need to bond, and that's why they are monoatomic. Noble gases